For aid to state and local governments, which are sorely strapped during all this, right?
Yes, and this is a case where the Biden team sees what happened the last recession, where it took state and local governments almost a decade to recover from the budget holes of the financial crisis in 2008, and that meant a lot of laid-off workers well after recovery had begun. But they want to avoid that mistake this time. They want to make sure that firefighters and teachers and police officers aren't being laid off because tax revenues fell while the pandemic spread.
Okay, so President Biden's plan is ambitious, it's expensive, and he wants to get some Republican support here. I mean, he would like to end this era of harsh partisanship in Congress. But he can do it with just the bare minimum of all of the Democrats if he uses this technique called budget reconciliation. It's a parliamentary move that allows him to do it with just a bare majority as opposed to the 60 votes that would normally be needed to get over the filibuster bowl. Can you just explain what this thing is, this budget reconciliation, how it works?
Absolutely. I learned a lot about it while covering the big Republican tax cuts in 2017 under President Trump, because this is the process the Republicans used. Ironically, many of them are now complaining that Democrats are using it, but they used it for the same purpose back then, which was to do a piece of legislation that their party thought critical for the economy, and they thought they weren't going to be able to get very many, if any, Democratic votes for, which in that case was true. They didn't get any Democrats onto the tax cut bill. Here's how it works. Usually, you have to pass legislation, you have to clear a filibuster, but there is this arcane rule written back decades ago for how to pass measures that relate to basically taxes and spending, direct appropriations, revenue focused things. And it's sort of a two-step process. First, the House and the Senate have to both pass a budget, which doesn't need the president's signature.